Lefty lunacy, well, sometimes the lefty lunacy, it's apparent to us at the time, but it takes a couple of years later and then the rest of the world sees it as well. Classic example, when Joe Biden walked out of Afghanistan, left all that equipment behind, James. Oh, what would happen, do you think?
Gosh, I don't know what would happen with all that equipment. Hey, maybe it would wind up being used by the Taliban in a huge military parade with the billions of dollars worth of equipment you see there on the screen that the U.S. just abandoned when Joe Biden chaotically and catastrophically left Afghanistan 3 years ago. This is like such an ad for Trump right here, what you're seeing. Sure because, you know, that chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, the Americans left behind, the equipment left behind, the Afghani people left behind to deal with the depredations of the Taliban, when you had people like the atrocious general, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Chief Mark Milley, who said he was more concerned about understanding white rage and things like that than actually, you know, leading American troops. You know, they had all said, oh, no, Afghanistan won't fall that quickly. It'll be fine. You know, we can manage the withdrawal. And, of course, the Taliban swept in within hours. This was an absolute disgrace, and it was a disaster, Rita.
And no one has paid a price. There's been zero accountability for the disastrous execution of that plan, the fact that American servicemen were killed, the fact that they went and droned a family and killed innocent children in retaliation, and then they admitted, oh, we got it wrong. They had nothing to do with that. They were just an innocent family that were brutally murdered. No one's paid for any of that. It seems incredible to me that we've got political prisoners in America right now, all these political persecutions, but people who've genuinely done terrible things.
There is such a disconnect right now in the American military between, you know, the enlisted men, the officers, and the top brass who they fail upwards constantly. You know, after Pearl Harbor, FDR fired the head of the Navy. And, you know, there was consequences for that. And here, people just get promoted.
Yeah, they fail
because they speak all the right woke language, because that's what's more important. It's more important going to the Congress and saying, oh, well, you know, I care about, you know, white rage and racism and, you know, I'm going to wear my pride medals and all of this stuff. But it's not about, you know, defending America. Who knew?
Yeah, and the point, of course, being that there you had the Taliban parading all that equipment, billions of dollars worth of equipment, snubbing their noses at America, gloating to the rest of the world. They had all this incredible equipment, which is designed to kill people as well as to defend yourself with. That's the Taliban. And they now have all this. And what do you think the rest of the world thinks of this, America? Joe Biden? Well, of course, we've seen after Afghanistan, we saw Hamas and attack on October 7th. We've seen atrocities throughout the Middle East. We've seen Russia, Ukraine, all of which fell in a heap after Joe Biden withdrew from Afghanistan. So all the Taliban are saying is, hey, see what we got out of it. And the rest of the world, meanwhile, is mired in all sorts of problems, which would not have happened had Donald Trump been president. There you go. A nice one for all those people who voted for Joe Biden. Well done. Rita, closer to home, bit of lefty lunacy from, again, copying Joe Biden. Why anyone would copy Joe Biden is beyond me, but Jason Clare, the Western Sydney MP, decided, oh, let's copy Joe Biden and give away taxpayers' money.
Well, yes, he very excitedly announced some breaking news on X. I don't know if politicians are tweeting like this, but he said, we've just introduced legislation to wipe $3 billion of student debt for more than 3 million Australians. Bad luck if you worked really hard to pay back that debt. And you're not wiping debt, you're just transferring it. And this is what the socialists, the far left, the people who have got absolutely no understanding of economics don't seem to comprehend, is that someone pays. So all of us are paying now, but
you're paying twice. If you paid off your student debts, you're paying twice. If you're a tradie who didn't go to university, you're paying for the kid who went to university to study genderqueer,
well,
whatever.
This is the point. Why should a tradie who's out there paying off his ute, paying off his tools, you know, paying off a mortgage under crippling interest rates, then have to go help pay off somebody's gender studies degree? It makes no sense.
What we need to actually do here and elsewhere in the West is get rid of these junk degrees that don't actually enable the graduate to get a job in any way connected with their field of study. If you want to go and do that as something for intellectual stimulation, then fine, you pay for it. But the taxpayer should not be subsidising paying for these junk degrees.
The left, Labor, the Greens, the Teals know they get their support. Don't forget the Teals are left. Don't forget that. The Teals are there supporting all this madness, by the way, about Gaza visas. So I'm changing topics here, but just back to this. They are simply paying for their supporters with your money. They know that their supporters come out of these universities doing these rubbish junk courses which don't get them any proper jobs. So they're paying them and subsidising them with your tax dollars. You're just paying for left-wing supporters. It's a disgrace. It's embezzlement. It's theft by the Labor Party of the Australian taxpayer. Clearly.
Well, this is more than that, though. You know, the university sector has been allowed to grow like Topsy and give out degrees in things that are pretty much worthless on the marketplace. And also, they've become this massive sort of migrant visa scam here, basically, to shovel people into the country, give them degrees, you know, and things like commerce and things like that. You know, who knows what that actually means. And then they come in.
Commerce is one of the degrees that is actually remotely a lot
of these, Rita, you know.
But I'm not saying it's going
Parramatta upstairs business college, come on, you know, and then you know, winds up exacerbating the housing crisis, the infrastructure crisis, all of this stuff here. The universities, of course, are dumping huge amounts of money trying to get people to believe in all this. The fact is, you know, we need to look at the way we deal with universities. Probably we need more people learning actual skills, less people doing a lot of these university degrees.
For over a decade. In Victoria, education is our biggest export. And when you look at how they come to those figures, you will be shocked.